What's going on, YouTube? They let a fool back in here, man. Because today, I'm actually going to be breaking down the Equifax data breach. This is a strategy that no other guru is talking about, whatever they want to call themselves, but we don't do no gatekeeping out here. And I'm going to show you guys exactly how to be able to get any item removed based off of the Equifax data breach within 2 weeks or less. Whether it's on Experian, Equifax, TransUnion, they must go. And so I'm going to show you guys why in just a second. In 2017, basically what happened was that Equifax was lacking in their infrastructure, and so they let hackers go ahead and actually expose 147 million Americans' credit file. 147 million, that's a lot of files, right? So what happened was that Equifax basically got this data breach. Was it the Russians? Was it the Chinese? It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, we're gonna go ahead and take advantage of this and use this to our favor. So whenever a data breach happens, most people really don't understand what that entails as far as how much information they got. Well, to break it down for you guys, your information was basically exposed, and so that means that we don't really know what happened with your information. So they could have put on the dark web, they could have actually went and got IDs, they could have went and basically sold your information. You have to look at it like this. Nowadays, especially in the world, the actual currency, right, that is the most valuable, it's not gold, it's not the American dollar, it's not the Chinese yen. So what is actually the most important currency that we have right now is actually data. So we're in the data economy. So whatever company or institution actually controls the most amount of data, that's the one that's going to have the most amount of power, because they're going to go ahead and leverage that data, whether it's for good purposes or bad purposes. That's a topic for another day, but for the most part, whoever controls the data is the most important. That's why having this Equifax data breach is one of the biggest things that you guys should worry about. So they actually have what they call a Equifax data breach tool lookup. If you go to their website on Equifax.com, they'll have a data breach lookup, and where you can go ahead and input your actual last name and also the last 6 digits of your social security number. So whenever you do that, you're going to find out if your information was actually compromised. So if you go ahead and actually sign up for this and you basically go ahead and find that your information was exposed, great news. You can be able to get those items removed off your credit file, because due to the data breach, that has endangered your personal information, and so you don't necessarily know if those accounts were being tampered with or any of that sort. So that's exactly what we're going to do to be able to make sure we get these items removed off our credit file. So let's go ahead and get into it step by step and show you guys how to be able to get any item removed whatsoever. So the first thing we're going to do is make sure that we go onto Equifax.com and go ahead and look up our name and make sure that our information is actually exposed. Once we find that out, then what we're going to do is go to my best friend ChatGPT. So we're going to go to ChatGPT, right? And after we go to ChatGPT, we're going to simply ask ChatGPT to create us a dispute letter. I want you guys to go ahead and get your credit report and make sure you guys understand which items are negatively on your credit report as being affected. So whenever you find that out and it's based off of the Equifax data breach, you can go ahead and simply put this in the dispute letter. So once you go ahead and put this in the dispute letter, what you're going to do next, right, is actually what we call a affidavit of truth. So having an affidavit is like a written sworn statement. And so what this affidavit is going to basically entail is that it's going to go ahead and provide all the sworn information that you guys are stating due to the fact that your information has been exposed by the Equifax data breach. So with this affidavit, right, so what you really want to do is go ahead and put the burden of proof on the actual credit bureaus. You want them to go ahead and prove that this account does belong to you, because what you have to realize, right, is that the credit bureaus, so they get all this information via the lender, and so they have what they call e-Oscar, which is basically their big computer system that they use in order to be able to manage disputes and also manage if a item has been verified and they have the necessary documents. Whenever an account gets reported on your credit report, based off of the laws, they have to have the corresponding documents in order to be able to make sure that that account is true and valid. So with over 200 million Americans, right, that have a credit file, a lot of times the credit bureaus don't have that information whatsoever. And a lot of times what they do is simply just let the lender have that information stored in their database, and they just reach out to the lender and send over information in regards to that. So the lender will send the information based off of their system and figure out if it's verified as far as it's accurate or it's unverified based off of the data that they have. So this is a major violation in the FCRA, and Congress has been trying to stop this, but at the end of the day, guys, that's assuming that the credit bureaus play fair, which they don't at the end of the day. Let's be real. So what you really want to do is make sure that whenever you are stating this affidavit and also stating in your dispute due to the Equifax data breach, you want them to prove that they have the written documentation as far as being able to have that provided and also give you a copy as well. And most of the times they don't. So that's exactly how we're able to get these items deleted and removed. And so basically that's what we're going to do First off, right, is go ahead and make sure that we get that affidavit, get that notarized. Then we're gonna go ahead and go to ChatGPT to make sure we have a dispute letter with all the negative items on your credit file that you want to go ahead and dispute. So what you want to do, right, is if you have any items that are not yours and you don't recognize on the actual dispute letter, then just go ahead and file an FTC report. The FTC is going to be a great resource for you guys to go ahead and reach out to. They'll be able to explain everything. And if you guys don't know if that account does belong to you, I would actually go ahead and reach out to Equifax and also reach out to the credit bureaus just to go ahead and verify and make sure. So if you're not sure, man, you can literally go ahead and make sure to go ahead and reach out to them, and they'll be able to provide you guys with next steps. So you have the actual dispute letter, you have the affidavit, and potentially you have the FTC report. So after that, what you really want to do is make sure that you guys go ahead and attach your actual proof of identification and also your proof of address. This is going to be able to help you guys get verified by the system. Do actually take this dispute as valid. And so after you guys have all these different steps, what you want to do is file a CFPB complaint. It's going to actually be able to help you guys enforce your actual rights and as far as being able to dispute this item. What you guys have to realize, right, is that it doesn't matter if you guys send it over to the credit bureaus, you send it over to the lender, or you send it over to the CFPB. Either way, it counts as the dispute. So what you want to do is go ahead and submit a CFPB complaint based off of the Equifax data breach as far as the guidelines. And so if you guys need any help with any of this, just make sure you guys go ahead and comment this below. Now, I want you guys to do a CFPB complaint, and just to make sure that the credit bureaus actually do get the complaint, go ahead and actually upload this to their actual database, and you guys can do experienupload.com, or you guys can simply mail over letters to Equifax and also TransUnion. So once you guys do this, in about 2 weeks, you should see those accounts being fully removed off your credit report. And if it doesn't get removed in 2 weeks, what I want you guys to do is go ahead and call the credit bureaus and make sure they're taking your dispute very seriously. The credit bureau simply wants you guys to give up from disputing, so never do that whatsoever. At the end of the day, I've seen clients that have disputed for 5 to 6 months, and as soon as they go ahead and send out another dispute, they'll automatically get those items removed. So I really hope this video was helpful as far as the Equifax data breach. Let me know in the comments any other videos that you guys want me to make, and please make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe and tap the bell notifications below to get updated on all the latest videos that we're dropping. Banger after banger. That's it for this video today, and I'm out, and I'll see you at the top, my boy. Let's get it.